Hello, Arda. Sorry that I couldn't see you today, but I'll see you next time, hopefully. But basically, for this recorded lesson, I'm just going to go over this page in the book that we're using. This is page 42 of this Alfred Adult All-in-One that we started a couple weeks ago. I apologize if you've taken a look at this one before, but either way, I'm going to kind of show you how I would approach practicing a new piece, especially one that's a full page long. So this could also work for, if any adults in the house want to watch this, to just kind of see, what my process might be. The first thing that I'm going to look for is the melody. And the melody is going to be whichever hand is playing basically one note at a time. Or at least it is most of the time. In this case, it looks like the bottom part. The left hand is going to be playing the melody here because the right hand is only playing these chords, right? So let's review the chords. We've got C. We know how to do C. I'm going to make sure that I back this up a little bit so you can see that for sure. There we go. We know how to play our C chord, or C major chord, C, E, G, all at once. But again, if that is a little tricky for right now, you can leave out the middle note and we'll play just C and G. That being said, try the C, E, and G, a couple times every day, and it'll get comfortable pretty quick. Okay, so the chords are, we got C, we got G7. Same thing, you can use the simplified version, which is, again, just the top and bottom note, unless you feel like you're up for it. You can try all three. So this song is in 3/4, and I believe we listened to some songs that were in 4 and 3. We kind of went over what that really means. And so someone wrote this. They decided it made more sense to divide it into groups of 3 notes. Makes more musical sense. So what we're going to need to look at is this rest here, followed by 2 chords. That's going to be on beats 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So if we were to count along while we play the right hand, it might go like this. I'm going to start here with this rest. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like that. And this is handy because beat 1 is when the left hand is actually going to play there. So the left hand will play on all the beat 1s, while the right hand plays on the other beats, the beats 2 and 3 on each measure. So I'm just going to skip right ahead to actually these 3 measures here. We're going to start with C in the left hand. If you want, you can write that in, or you can write 5 to remind yourself which finger you're going to use. So we're going to go like this. Left hand is going to start with C. It's going to move up to D, and then E. Just like that. C, D, E. And after each one of those, we're going to play these 2 chords, right? So we start with the C note here, and then we've got 2 C chords. Next measure, now we're playing the D, followed by 2 G7 chords, right? And then the last thing here, we're going to hit E, play C chords again. So now we get this kind of fun thing, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play this really slow so that you have a chance to try this with the recording at home as well. Here we go. I'm going to count us in. I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to start together right here on measure 2. So we'll get C position, both hands. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. That's the idea. And this is fun because it's easy to speed up as you get, right? You can really speed that up as you get more comfortable with it. All right, so that's going to be kind of like the basic thing we're working with here. But let's look at measure 1, because that's going to start the melody off. Measure 1, we're going to start with E with finger 3. And it's the same kind of thing. We're going to step up 1 note at a time until we run out of fingers. We're going to go E, F, G, and then we drop down to C and do the slower ones there. So I like to think of it like we start here and we just step up and then we do the same thing on C, right? We just step up a couple times. So I kind of think of it in 2 little parts like that. So now let's play just the melody, which is just the left hand from the very beginning. We'll do that together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that one more time. Here we go. From the very beginning, just the left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that. And now let's see if we can combine everything. We've got the left hand melody and the right hand chords, right? So let's do this all together from the very beginning. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now, at this point, it's good to resist the urge to play the rest of it. You really want to play this enough times that it's memorized. And you're not necessarily trying to memorize it, but that's kind of a good rule of thumb, which is that if you've played it enough times where it's like a good idea to move on, then it's probably going to be memorized. If it's not memorized, you could probably use some more repetitions kind of before you move on. You want to start slow like we just did there. And this is how I learn pieces, even as an adult playing, highly advanced pieces. It's the same exact thing. It's just taking these like small sections. So you could even do just maybe the first 2 measures a few times, right? And then the second 2 measures. The way I like to think of it is if I ask you to play the whole thing right away, that's too hard for sure, right? It's hard to sight read a whole piece. If I ask you to just play the first 2 notes over and over, you'd say that's too easy, right? Which means somewhere in the middle is the perfect amount of difficulty, right? It has to be somewhere because that's a gradual change. So if you're ever thinking, oh, this song's too hard, right? Don't give up. Pick a comically easy section to practice, right? Something that's so easy it's boring. And then from there, you can just add on a little bit more until it feels like it's about right. So let's do that a couple more times from the beginning. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And one more time. I would recommend actually, though, after we do this, pausing it and doing it a few more times yourself. Let's do it one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. All right. So I would say pause the video, do that a few times, enough times that it's memorized. And now I'm going to assume that you've unpaused or that you feel like you're ready anyway, and we'll just go on. So now let's look ahead at the rest of the piece. And we're going to find that all the work we just did with this section is going to kind of pay dividends here because, as with many songs, it involves a lot of repetition. So the second line is identical to the first line, except for the last melody note here in the left hand. So instead of going C, D, E, it's going to go C, D, C. So you can kind of think of it like at first we played this, right? I don't know, I guess that feels like a question, and I guess this could be like the answer, right? So from the beginning, da 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 da, there's the question, da 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 da, there's the answer, right? And that's kind of like its own unit. So now let's try the second line, right? Which won't take nearly as much work as the first line did because it's almost identical. It's just that the melody goes back down to C. So let's do that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Right, just like that. At that point, it would be a good idea to go back to the beginning and do both lines a couple times. But just so I don't make the video too long, I'll kind of move on to the next section here. So pause the video here, see if you can find any similarities between the second half of the song and the first half, because, as you might have guessed, it involves a lot of the same material that we just played up here. And in this case, it's going to be that the hands are swapped, but everything else is identical, except that we're going to play like an extra C chord at the very end. Otherwise, it's the exact same as this. But the hands or as this, I should say. But the hands are swapped. So now the right hand plays the melody. So you're going to do that same process. You're going to have the right hand first by itself, or it could be the left hand, whichever. But you want to do one hand at a time in just a small section. So I'm going to do the right hand real quick, right? I'm going to do this faster than you would at home, but just to kind of show you. Don't try to do any more than that. Just worry about doing that. If you can do that like 5 times in a row without any, errors, then it's probably a good time to move on to the left hand, right? The left hand is going to be 2 C chords, 2 G7 chords, 2 C chords, just like we saw the right hand do at the beginning. And then same idea, right? You can put the hands together, and that's going to look like this. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the whole piece, and then I'll stop the video there. I don't want to make it too long just because I want it to be, watchable, digestible. We won't have too much info, especially if I'm not there to kind of help out a little bit. But here we go from the beginning. I'll just kind of start right on it. Here we go. And there's the whole song. So try that out. That's page 42 in your book. See if you can memorize it, actually, because like we said, it's the same thing over and over. We just do tiny changes each time. And I will see you next time. All right, take care.